There's a lot of great whiskey out there, but there's also a lot of horrible stuff. Today, I am going to share with you Wade's top 5 worst whiskies of 2024. Strap in. Thank you guys for joining me once again. If you are new here, thank you for coming along. My name is Wade. This is McIntyre's Malts, and we focus on all things single malt whiskey. Today is a fun one that I enjoy doing at the end of each year, and that is my list of the top 5 worst whiskies that I tried in 2024. Okay, so let's begin with number 5 on the list, and I'm sure I'm going to start ruffling feathers right from the jump. And the number 5 worst whiskey for me this year was the Hakushu 12-year-old Japanese single malt. Now, I know probably people are already throwing things at the screen saying, what the hell are you talking about? But let's take into consideration what this whiskey offers, right? We're talking 43% ABV. We're talking a chill filtered whiskey, possibly a colored whiskey, and we're talking approximately $400 Australian. There is nothing that this whiskey offers that lives up to what it should for that price point. And that's why it's made the list. Objectively, it's not a bad whiskey, but I've included it on the list because for me personally, it's got terrible specs and costs 4 times what a whiskey with its credentials should. It was a no-brainer for me to add it to the list today. So number 5, the Hakushu 12. Number 4 on my list of worst whiskies for 2024 is the Lindor's Abbey commemorative release MC DXCIV, which stands for 1494. This one had a nice vanilla scent on the nose, but was just underwhelming. It just really did nothing for me. And going back through my notes, my comment on this one was life is too short to drink whiskey like this. So that should tell you more than enough of all the wonderful whiskeys available to you. This is one for me personally that I don't think you should waste any time with at all. Go and find something better, which is quite easy to do. Okay, let's get to number 3 on the list of Wade's top 5 worst whiskies for 2024. And this is one that I had anticipation would be better than it was. We are talking an Islay whiskey with an age statement and ruby port casks. Normally that would equal success for me and my palate, what I enjoy. But in this case, it just was extremely disappointing, and I am talking about the brand new Bowmore 16 Ruby Port cask, which is now making up part of the new lineup of core expressions for 2025. Misses the mark. It really rubbed me the wrong way that an Islay whiskey can be done poorly. I just can't understand how Bowmore keep getting it wrong. So it had to make the list because there's a high bar for an Islay whiskey to live up to in my books, and the Bowmore 16 Ruby Port casks fell far from where it should be. So number 3 on the list today. That brings us to number 2 of the worst whiskies that I've tried in 2024. This one is one that sort of surprised me, and we are talking about the Balvenie 15 Madeira cask travel retail exclusive bottling. It was just terrible, and the price point is absurd. It's more marketing than skill nowadays in what you guys are releasing, and this was no exception. Absolutely deserves to be on the list, and especially at number 2. I hate that whiskey. Rubbish stuff. All right, we have reached the coveted number 1 spot of the worst whiskey that I have tried in 2024, and this one was absolutely disgusting. A horrible whiskey that I tried, basically ended up tipping it down the drain. It was that bad. We are talking about the Schlier's Oloroso cask finish German single malt whiskey. This stuff is horrendous. I was absolutely blown away by how bad it was. I couldn't believe that you could get a whiskey that wrong. Just a terrible flavor profile. And it makes me realize and appreciate when whiskey is done well, why we should appreciate it more. So if anything, this helps balance the great and the terrible to appreciate how great whiskey really is. Absolutely do not recommend any of the whiskeys on this list. If you have tried them and you agree with me, let me know in the comments below. If you have tried them and you think I'm off my rocker, please let me know if you think they're great whiskeys and why you think they're great whiskeys in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Very soon I have my top 5 best whiskeys of 2024 video coming out, and I will follow shortly thereafter with the top 5 best rare whiskeys of 2024. Thank you guys for being here. May you always have great whiskey in your glass and good people to share it with.